Hello out there to all you freedom maniacs. My name's Jeff Einstein, coming to you today directly from sunny Delray Beach, Florida. And yes, no doubt about it, I'm easily amused. Talking the other day with a friend about karma. And it occurred to me later in the day that the only karma anyone really cares about is bad karma. No one cares about good karma because good karma always manifests as a pleasant surprise, like an unexpected upgrade. Oh, isn't that delightful, you say? Or, oh, I had no idea. On the other hand, sometimes you can just look at something and know deep down in your bones that bad karma is right around the corner. What could possibly go wrong? But where's bad karma when you need it? How is it possible that the elite in academia, in Congress, on Wall Street, in technomedia, and other global corporations are never held to account for anything? How is it possible that Will Smith could bitch slap a world-renowned comedian live on stage in front of tens of millions of people?
Uh-oh, Richard! Oh, wow! Wow!
And still accept a Best Actor Oscar to a standing ovation the same night?
And the Oscar goes to...
Will Smith!
How can a trans woman, a biological male, accept an award for beating biological women in a government-subsidized competition of strength and speed? How can a media company that operates the equivalent of a 21st century town square banish a sitting president? Why can politicians and health officials who impose devastating lockdowns and mandates in the tortured name of public health disregard their own do-as-I-say rules with such utter impunity? How can talking head buffoons in the news media be so idiotically and tragically wrong all the time and still keep their jobs? When I was growing up, responsibility and accountability used to be rewards for good performance. Perform well and you were awarded with more responsibility and more accountability. But not in the 21st century. Nowadays, we treat accountability and responsibility as personal threats. Who's accountable here?
Hey! Hey! Attention! Oh, who fired those shots?
I did. Let's get this straight. I did, and boy, was that a shot or was that a shot?
Well, you hit the Admiral's flagship.
When did you hit the Admiral's flagship? When did you hit the Admiral's flagship?
There's no accountability in no small measure because we live in the middle of what I call a massive conspiracy by fiat. Conspiracy by fiat is what happens when the top jobs in government, private corporations, and academia become interchangeable and incestuous components of single ambitious careers. Conspiracy by fiat is inevitable when generations of brilliant students from the same Ivy League business and law schools are all taught to think the same way about the same things by tenured professors who likewise all think the same way about the same things. It's what happens when those same students graduate with virtually identical ambitions of power and success. Think about this. A young attorney just out of law school representing a K Street lobbying firm sits down with her counterpart, a young congressional aide, to negotiate a piece of legislation. A few years later, the same two people have switched sides and sit again across the same table to negotiate another piece of legislation. If, over the years, they sit down often enough, sell and trade enough influence in the process, they are awarded with honorary degrees in academia. That's why the scoundrels on Wall Street, the scoundrels on K Street, the scoundrels in government, and the scoundrels in academia and technomedia are all the same scoundrels at different stages of their careers. That's why all the inept and bungling professional liars in the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, Defense Department, and other deep state incubators fail so spectacularly over long careers only to wind up with lucrative book deals and cable news contracts. Conspiracy by fiat is the evolutionary mechanism of entitlement culture. And of course, True entitlement always begins at the top. True entitlement is a top-down phenomenon. What the ruling elites call entitlements, programs like COVID relief, Social Security, Medicare, and food stamps, are in fact the table scraps left behind by the rapacious appetites of the truly entitled. Table scraps that our taxes pay for in the first place. Yes, entitlement always begins at the top, especially in Congress, where sitting incumbents enjoy a 95% re-election rate. What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong is that the most powerful among us are also the least accountable. Power and accountability enjoy an inverse relationship. The more power you have, the less accountable you are, by design. No one puts in the kinds of hours and incurs the kinds of stress required to amass real power and wealth only to be held more accountable, especially not by a committee of bought and paid for stooges in Congress. Old-fashioned conspiracy by design in smoke-filled back rooms is hardly necessary these days, not when conspiracy by fiat not only satisfies the same ends, but offers plausible deniability to everyone and accountability to no one. Harry Truman was famous for the buck stops here sign on his desk. Of course, the buck that stopped on Harry's desk back in 1950 is worth only about 8 cents today. Hardly worth the effort. That's it for me, folks. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to share this video with at least 200 of your closest friends and family. Remember, skepticism is our first civil obligation in a free society. Many thanks for watching and God's love to you.